Hood's off. You know what that means. Yeah, here we are again at this very familiar place. A place I am no stranger to. So yeah, we're about to pull the engine and transmission yet again. This is I don't even know how many times this is. This has been quite a few times. I mean, the good news is that one, I'm getting use out of my engine hoist. I was worried that when I bought it, it would just sit and I would never use it. But really am getting my money's worth out of it. The other good thing is I've gotten really proficient at removing the engine from this car, so I should be able to knock it out in like an hour or so. Shouldn't take too long. It's really not. I mean, pulling the engine out of this thing, it's not even really a big deal anymore. It's minor inconvenience. So you're probably wondering why exactly I'm pulling the engine yet again. It's the clutch. At least I'm guessing it's the clutch. So yeah, I was going to I was doing some tuning, making sure everything was running right, and did some test pulls. Everything seemed fine, and then a few, like 20 more minutes into the drive home, I go to pull away from a light, and the RPM just kind of shot up. So I thought, well, maybe I was a little lazy letting off the clutch. So I pay real close attention, pull away from a few more lights. Same thing. Do a quick 1-2 rip, and RPM just goes straight to red line basically. Clutch is not holding in any gear. It doesn't even take boost. I'm talking just pulling away from a light, going above 4,000 RPM, the clutch just lets go. So, I think I know what the issue might be. One, I did not get the flywheel resurfaced. When I fixed that oil seal. I put a new disc in. Did not resurface the flywheel because there was only like 100 miles on it. It looked fine. I mean, it looked like there was a little bit of heating, but it was only 100 miles on it. I figured it wouldn't be a big deal. Turns out, probably a big deal. So, I'm thinking that's what it is. Either that or the seal isn't sealing, and there's oil on the clutch again. I can't smell anything. That's the other weird thing. No smell of burning clutch or burning metal or anything. No smell of burning oil. Just the clutch just is not holding. So it's either oil on the disc, or the flywheel not being surfaced and it just chewed up the disc, or potentially the pressure plate itself just failed. Maybe the pressure plate just decided to maybe the diaphragm broke or something. I don't know. It's not making any noise or any weird noise or anything. No screeching, no squealing, no rattling, nothing like that. Just isn't holding anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tear into this. I'm gonna set up my GoPro to just kind of record me doing it, because I'm just gonna turn the fan on, turn on some music, and knock this out real quick. So that's not gonna be real quick. It's not gonna be knocked out. Anyways, let's get to it. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. So, we can go ahead and crack this guy open and see what's going on in there. Alrighty, so conclusion. Yeah, I kind of forgot to film a outro or a conclusion. I kind of just like packed up and went to bed. But yeah. So, anyways, this is a couple of days later. Conclusion I've come to is, I think what happened was I had a valve cover leak that leaked down to the transmission bell housing. Got into the clutch. There was a little bit of oil. I mean, there still is a little bit on there. A little bit of oil in the throwout bearing. So that's obviously oil got onto the clutch. There's no oil coming out the input shaft, so that seal is holding. The inside of the belt housing is wet, obviously. A little bit of, not very wet, but wet enough. I looked at the main seal. The main seal looks clean. I mean, there was some oil on it, but I believe it was oil that had dripped down from the top. So there was oil like all the way around the outside perimeter of the bell housing where it had leaked down from the valve cover, and so I think yeah. So I'm pretty sure oil leaked. I'm pretty sure the oil that was on the clutch came from the valve cover. So I think that was one part of it. The second part of it is when you look at this clutch disc. It's kind of hard to see with the light there. So you'll see that the pads aren't worn very evenly. This is the flywheel side. So what that tells me is that the flywheel was not flat, which makes sense because I didn't get it resurfaced after the last time. But last time, the flywheel only had like, 200 miles on it, if that. But I guess that was enough to warp it and whatnot. There were some hot spots on it from the last time it slipped. So, but yeah, anyways, here's the pressure plate side. It's more evenly worn than this side. So that tells me that, yeah, the flywheel was probably, most definitely uneven. So I think a combination of the flywheel being uneven and the oil dripping on caused the slippage. The pressure plate doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty even. There's some heating, but it's not super bad. It's not as bad as this is the one that slipped before. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's all rusty now, but there were like some hardcore heating spots on it. Another weird thing is that these two pressure plates are supposed to be the same. They're both Clutchmaster FX 400s, but they are built differently. So I'm not sure if this isn't actually a 400 or if Clutchmaster at some point changed their design. I don't know. But yeah, they're totally not the same clutch at all. That one has more fingers on it. Spring doodads are different. The way they're clamped in there is different. The actual mating surface is a different piece. It's basically a completely different clutch, a completely different design. So, I don't know. But, so maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe this isn't as much clamping force as this one was. I never had any issues with that when I was running it in the G series, other than when I doused it in transmission fluid. But, so, anyways, what I've done is the flywheel is off being serviced. I ordered a ACT Extreme, I think it's a PPL, whatever, Extreme pressure plate, and a clutch, and a ACT 6-puck street strip disc or whatever the hell you want to call it. Their extreme street strip. Ceramic, metallic, ceramic, copper, whatever you want to call it. Clutch disc. So that way it'll be an ACT pressure plate and an ACT disc and a ACT flywheel that has been properly serviced, and then hopefully I should be good to go. The only thing that sucks is that now it's getting into summer, it's getting hot, but whatever, I just want to get this thing to the track and actually make a decent pass with it. Alright. And also, it kind of makes me wonder, because the car trapped kind of low the last time I went to the track. So I'm thinking the reason why it trapped low was maybe the clutch was slipping then. I don't know. But, till next time.